Good morning, everyone. Welcome to part 3 of our Newsela training series. Today I'm going to go over some of the more advanced features, like how to use the advanced search bar, how to create annotations and in-text questions for your students, and then also how to use the gradebook to see what your students have been doing. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is show you how to create annotations and in-text questions for students. So here's an article I found about the Babylonian Empire that I want to push out to my 7th grade history kids. So as you can see down here, I've inputted an annotation here has been shared with students. So you can see that I click on this annotation. I have written in here, review, what advances did the Sumerians make? And so as students would read the article, they would see this question, and then I could require them to type a response to that as an annotation on their own. You could see also here, that's where I could make a question. You can see right here, I have given them like a little note. So it doesn't be a question, you can just say, like, highlight something important. So I said here, make sure to remember Hammurabi, he's important. So that way it flags it for kids. Let's say I wanted to create a new annotation. How would I do it? Well, let's look at this second paragraph. The Empire of Babylonia occupied the middle and southern part of Mesopotamia. It was positioned between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. It stretched from the present-day city of Baghdad, Iraq, south to the Persian Gulf. Let's say I wanted to ask my students a geography question and look at a map. Could highlight this, and I could choose the color I wanted to put it in. I've been using purple, so I'll use purple still. And I could say something like, what other countries do the Tigris and Euphrates flow through besides Iraq? Whoop. And then let's put modern. Push share, and then that way students could look at a map and answer that question too. If I wanted to even be more specific, I could put in here, look at a map. There you go. And then that way, so it's really easy to edit your comments if you want to make some edits there. So as you can see, I can go through here and create this. Now let's say that I wanted to have students highlight and write their own thinking while they are reading the article. So students can do the same thing. When they are reading, they have the ability to highlight the text in one of those 4 colors and write their annotations. So when I assign this to my students, in my directions, I'll be clear about that. So first one, I'll say, respond to my annotations in purple while reading. And now I can give them some directions to annotate on their own. I could say highlight in red any, or let's be more specific, let's say 3 interesting facts you learned. And I could say explain your thinking in writing. And that way they would have to highlight the interesting facts and explain it in line of text. And then I could give them some more directions. Highlight in green 2 confusing points in the article. So here I'm asking them to go beyond just the quiz and the writing prompts to engage with the article in more detail. So there we go. You can see I can add annotations, they can respond to them, and now they're showing me their thinking so that I can see what they have done as well. And that would be how I would add some rigor and some depth to my assignments and make sure that kids aren't just skimming through and then clicking through the quiz and moving on. So this way they have to engage with the reading in more detail. So that's the annotations piece. Let's go to the advanced search. So let's say I wanted to find some primary sources about ancient Babylon. I could go to this suggested for right here, and I can filter it to middle school. I can apply a feature there. And if I wanted to really find primary sources, I can do that. So hopefully I can find some primary sources to help me meet my standards for social studies. And boom, here's what I'm looking for. Primary source is the Code of Hammurabi. And there I have found a primary source. And if I wanted to get the exact translation language, I could max it out. So I'll have the exact translations into English. But as you can see, this is at a pretty high reading level, 12th grade reading level. So if I really wanted them to struggle and kind of have that experience of figuring it out with primary source, I can keep it at the max, or I could knock it down a bit so they could get the gist of it, even though it's not the real text. So, that's a choice you can make as a teacher of how you want to use that there. That's the advanced search feature. There's a lot of other options on there. Let's say I wasn't looking exactly for primary sources, but I could, I'm looking for a certain reading level. Or there, if you click text level, then you can go and you can select it to match your classroom there. Or more broadly, you can just do the selected for certain things. If you were looking for text sets published by other teachers, you could click on that. And you might find other things that other teachers have created with different articles. So, why reinvent the wheel if you can find what someone else has done? You could also search by state standards. They do have video links on here sometimes, not with every topic, but those are available as well sometimes. So that's the advanced search feature. And then let's go to the binder where you can, our last topic for the day, you can see what students are doing. Or sorry, in the assignments category, not the binder. So let's change, if we change this to the last school year, then you can see what my kids were doing last spring. So when you create an assignment, it will show up on your end like this. So I can see that in May 11th, I had an assignment about the Middle Ages, and 8 of my 20 students viewed the article from my 5th period history class. So if I click on that, you can see for this one, I only want them to read the article and take the quiz. There was no other instructions given. So you can see here how the students did and which ones did not view it. So on this article, I did not set the level of reading. So you can see here how it adapted to the students' own abilities. You can see what their score was on the reading quiz, and you can see how long it took. So you can see here if students are rushing through the assignment, what that looks like, or if they're taking their time and doing it. This is a short article, so 5 to 10 minutes is not surprising that would be for some of these students what they would be finishing it up as. And you can see down here the kids that have not finished the article and didn't do the assignment. So that's one way to check the grades in there. I did not assign any writing activities, so that's why there was nothing here, nor did I assign annotations. If I did assign annotations and the kids made them, it would pop up here the number that they had made, so that would be helpful there. So that's how you can view what the kids have done on Newsela. And that's in the assignments box again, and you can check things out there. Thanks so much. Have a good day.